Hey guys, how are you all doing? It's Cam back at you again. I've got a slightly different video for you today. Today we're checking out some of my Fender guitars. Let's go. So a lot of you know me for Charvel EVH guitars. And I do own a couple of Fenders and one or two other brands, but they don't tend to see the light of day very much, just thanks to the nature of my content. And in this video we're just going to have a sit down, a nice chat, and just talk about these guitars for a little bit, so it could end up being quite a long video. We have a Fender Cabronita Telecaster here, made in Mexico, which again doesn't belong to me, it belongs to my dad. We have a 73 Telecaster Deluxe coming up, and also my Fender Big Apple Strat, made in the US. Kicking things off, we have a Fender Mexican Cabronita in black, and it's been modded to hell, although despite the pickguard it hasn't on face value. It's a really cool guitar all around. It gets played a lot off camera, and what's great about the two Telecasters in this video is that they both don't feature very powerful pickups. These are Fender's own Fidelitrons. These were kept original, whereas with this guitar a lot of other things have been changed. The bridge has been changed, the string chief's been changed, the locking tuners have been added with pearl buttons, which I'll talk more about in a moment. And just generally the guitar has just been souped up, so it plays a lot better and overall looks a little bit better. I love this guitar a lot. And this guitar is not mine, I'll add. This is my dad's, as is the other Telecaster that's coming up. And this guitar, made in Mexico, 2013 model. I'll kick things off with the scratch plate. The scratch plate came from Greece and it's made of leather. It's really cool. And the guy who we got it from, I can't fully remember where it was. This was an eBay buy that my dad did, he told me about. And he made all sorts of leather themed pickguards. They didn't all look just like this. There were loads of other ones, different patterns and colours. And he didn't just make them for Telecasters either. It was everything, Strats, basses, virtually every Fender guitar under the sun he made. And also other guitars, he also made one or two Gibson ones as well. And those pickguards I think are really cool. They had a really nice sort of decorative custom look to it. They're really cool, nice brushed leather. How to sell a leather pickguard, there you go. Then you have a replacement bridge here. This is a hip shot bridge, a perfect replacement for the 2013 models only. Anything later than that, it doesn't work. But this particular bridge went straight in there, and it generally is just improved the intonation a little bit, and also has helped the tuning stability, that with the locking tuners, which were bought from America. They've got the pearl buttons on, as you can see, so they add another element of class to the guitar, which I think is really cool. They were bought from Daniel's Music, again off eBay, and they are in West Virginia. And one thing that was so impressive about ordering those tuners, they've also been put on the Big Apple Strat, which is coming up in a moment. They came from the States in about 3 days, as in placing the order to the door. In the UK, we can order stuff from less than 20 miles away, if that, and they still won't show up for about 2 weeks. So it proves how efficient the postage was on that front. Generally, the guitar's really nice. Sounds so good, especially thanks to the Fender Filtertron pickups. I really love it. Stays in tune, rock solid. String tree was customized as well. That's the roller string tree, meant to resemble the custom shop models and the more vintage Telecasters all around. It's just a smart instrument. Really love it. Let's have a listen. This 1972 Deluxe Telecaster is a bit of a troublemaker. This was acquired second hand, it's been in the collection for ages, and today it's making its first appearance in a video. Had it for ages, as I say, it's just never made an appearance, don't know really why. And this guitar has a bit of a backstory to it. It was acquired second hand, can't really remember where from. This guitar isn't mine, again, this one's my dad's. And what's really cool with this one is the headstock was completely refinished. When it was bought, the original sort of polyurethane thick lacquer finish was breaking off. And when I say breaking off, I don't mean breaking off in little bits, and I'm talking in one giant bit. It's like the whole guitar was being unwrapped. It's kind of impressive actually in its own way. And what was done was, because obviously it was a problem, I suspect it was all down to where the person kept the guitar originally, or maybe a fault, who knows. But with the guitar, it was all the old finish and everything that was cracking off was peeled away and got rid of. My dad bought some nitrocellulose finish and basically scraped the headstock back to bare white maple, almost the colour of the wall behind me, and then got the correct tinted finish from Manchester Guitar Tech, who's actually my guitar tech. He's really, really cool. I don't tend to get my guitar set up very often. When they do, they go to him, and he makes his own finishes. So we got one of those, basically dumped a load of finish on the top of the headstock here. We've got a new logo from Canada, I think it was, and basically had that transfer put on there, and you wouldn't know until I told you. I think he did a really, really good job, my dad did, on that one. You would never have known. It's a really, really nice guitar. It features the Fender wide range humbuckers, pseudo wide range I'd say, and they're really, really beefy and they sound spot on. They've got a lot of clarity and punch to them. The guitar feels awesome, and also I have a thing for Telecaster Deluxes. I think it's something to do with the pickguard and just the general setup of it. It's like a heavy rock Telecaster, for me anyway. And also this guitar has a sister, which I'm going to get for you now. Boom, this one is my go-to. It's a bit of a John 5 style, and it's really, really cool. Ignoring the Charvel headstock, this is a parts caster, it's not a Fender product. But it's a really, really nice guitar. It's made of swamp ash, this one, as opposed to this one that's made of alder. It's got the mirror reflective pickguard, which was not done by me. This guitar, again, was bought second hand. It was a killer find. And I'm very, very appreciative to the guy who sold it to me, because he didn't want to get rid of this. And it's really, really nice. I can see why. An interesting thing though with this guitar is the pickup switch. I don't know if you can see it on camera, but it's cracked. And what happened there was I was just cleaning the pickup switch tip, because sometimes with three-way toggles, if you switch to one position, it will go quiet for one position, for instance. And all you need is some switch cleaner to squirt in there, and then everything will work out fine. But what happened was, I think a little bit of residue from the switch cleaner got onto the pickguard and reacted with the plastic, and the whole thing cracked completely. And I mean completely. I mean, if I was to unscrew this little chunk here would come off as like a wedge. It's really, really strange. So I woke up one morning and that happened, and I have no idea why. It gives it its own individual look. I just don't recommend trying that method to clean a switch. But generally, really, really nice guitar. Put a Charvel sticker on there just to baffle people. It's really, really cool. So finally we have my Fender Big Apple Stratocaster. Such an important guitar to me, this. It's an absolute staple of my guitar playing history. It's the first proper guitar I got after my Fender Mexican Strat, the standard, which was in flip-flop. Really, really cool guitar. And I moved on to this, and this was bought second hand for me in 2011 as a Christmas present from my dad, and it changed my life completely. I mean, the two humbuckers, just the way it felt, and its sound was just so inspiring to me. And that team with my THR-10, which I got at the time as well. In fact, at the time it was a PV Viper 100, then I swapped that for a THR-10X. I got that in 2013. But this guitar has been with me the whole time. It's the exact same age as me as well. Tracing back the serial number, it literally to the month is the same age as me. And This particular guitar is in candy apple red. You don't see too many of these guitars in candy apple red, although they made a fair few. They're not a very common find, if that makes sense. It only has one modification, and it wasn't necessary. I just did it because I did it for fun, and it's the locking tuners again with the pearl buttons. I think it's because I like Jake E. Lee so much, and also Van Halen with his Ernie Ball Music Man with the pearl buttons. I just thought it was such a nice, classy feature to have on a guitar, so that was put on there. Also, the pickups in this guitar are not the most common either. This is a Pearly Gates Plus from Seymour Duncan in the bridge and a 59 in the neck. And also at the time it was a 5-way pickup switch guitar. It's got some really nice combinations in. And I don't think that was a common thing at the time, say that like he was there. But the bridge position, the Seymour Duncan Pearly Gates Plus, is only found in this guitar and the double fat Strat made around the same time. And the Pearly Gates Plus is a discontinued pickup. They don't make it anymore, so it's not an easy find either. And it's got a really nice pseudo-path sound, and it's really, really nice. It's not a very powerful pickup, but it really does pack a punch. It's so nice. And just the general aesthetic of this guitar as well. If you see it in the light now, look how white the pickups are compared to the pickguard. And that's because the pickguard has aged slightly, and it's sort of dimmed, if you like. It's not a super bright white Moto scratch plate anymore, and I think it's just such a smart looking guitar. It's almost gone a champagne colour looking at it, so it looks like the guitar's been modern and is really souped up, which I think is really nice. And this covers so many sonic grounds for me. I can play so much on it, everything from just basic bluesy stuff to the heaviest of Ozzy Osbourne. It covers everything. But yeah, absolutely amazing guitar all around. I love it to bits. Forgive me chunnering on. I know a lot of people like to know about guitars and everything else and have these checked out. This is the only guitar I own which is made in the US, and it's everything anyone could possibly need. I highly recommend it. If you see one, snag it. They're so good. Anyway, let's have a listen. Thanks so much for watching this video, you guys. I hope you've liked what you've seen. Please tell me what you think of these guitars. Let me know what you think. And if you have any inquiries regarding my playing or anything like that, please feel free to email me. If you're interested in a guitar lesson, please get in touch. I do Skype lessons now. It'd be great to hear from you. Take care. I'll see you really soon.